Before we begin, I want to ask you something. What happens when hunger doesn't just live in the body, but takes over the soul? Tonight, we're going to talk about an entity that isn't just scary, paranormal story. It's a warning, a mirror, and for many cultures, a sacred lesson that deserves respect. In this episode about the Wendigo, before we go any further, I want to be very clear. This story originates from an indigenous culture, specifically the Algonquian speaking tribes. And we're approaching this topic with education, respect, and intention. So take a deep breath with me real quick. Feel your body, feel where you're sitting, and let's set the intention that we're here to learn. Not inviting, not provoking, just witnessing. You may speak your own prayer, or you can speak this one with me. I ask the divine energy, Archangel Michael, to protect us, the viewers, and myself from any manifestations that may wish to appear because of this story. Please surround us with your protective golden light. Protect us from all harm and evil. So mote it be. Namaste. Amen. All right, let's begin. So the Wendigo comes from a tradition of several Algonquian-speaking indigenous tribes across what is now the northern United States and Canada, regions known for brutal winters, isolations, and extreme secrecy. This is important to remember. The Wendigo was never meant to be entertainment. It's a warning story. A story told to explain what happens when survival turns into selfishness, when desperation turns into greed, when someone crosses a moral and spiritual line that cannot be uncrossed. In these communities, winters could last months. Food was sacred. People depended on each other to survive, and the Wendigo became an embodiment of the ultimate taboo, cannibalism. Not just an act, but a spiritual rupture. The lesson was simple and terrifying. If you consume another human to survive, something else may consume you. So what is an indigo supposed to look like? Traditionally, the Wendigo is described as tall, like unnaturally tall, skeletal-like. Its skin is stretched thin over its bones, like it's constantly starving no matter how much it eats. Sunken eyes, a corpse-like smell, and the presence that feels so cold emotionally and physically. Now, you've probably seen modern descriptions like antlers, deer skulls, and glowing eyes. That version is largely a pop culture evolution. While powerful visually, it's important to understand that the original stories focus less on appearance and more of the energy. The Wendigo doesn't just look wrong, it feels wrong. People describe feeling overwhelming dread, silence in the forest, and a sense of a being watching you. And in many stories, it can mimic human voices, calling for help and even calling your name. One of the most chilling aspects of the Wendigo legend is this. It starts as a human. Someone pushed to the edge, starvation, isolation, desperation, and when that person chooses to consume another human, something breaks. Some stories describe possessions, others describe transformations, but the core idea is the same. Once that line is crossed, the hunger never ends. No matter how much it eats, it's never enough. There's also something known as Wendigo psychosis, a condition documented historically where individuals believe they are becoming or had become a Wendigo. They fear hurting others, and they even fear themselves. Whether viewed spiritually, psychologically, or culturally, the message remains powerful. Unchecked hunger, physical, emotional, or spiritual, can destroy thyself. This is where I want you to lean in a little, because the Wendigo isn't just about forests or winters, it's about greed. It represents what happens when we take more than we need, when survival turns into hoarding, when power becomes a matter more than people. In modern terms, the Wendigo can symbolize addiction, capitalism without compassion, ego without accountability, and consumption without gratitude. From a shadow work perspective, the Wendigo asks us a hard question. Where in your life are you never satisfied? What hunger are you feeding that never seems full? And what might happen if it keeps growing? Across the years, there have been countless stories of encounters, both traditional and modern. Hunters fear their names being called in the woods. Hikers feel watched and followed. People reporting voices that sound almost human but not quite. Many encounters share common themes: isolation, extreme colds, silence, and an overwhelming of dread. Now, it's important to use discernment here. Fear, environment, and the unknown can definitely play tricks on the mind. But regardless of whether these encounters are literal or symbolic, they all enforce the same truth. The forest remembers, and the hunger leaves a trail.
You need to hear the panic in this video, because the passenger realizes the thing running next to them isn't an animal. But look at its focus. It sprints at 50 miles an hour without glancing at the car. It ignores them completely, which is somehow more terrifying than an attack.
Something big just hit these power lines over there. You hear it? Got lit up, whatever it was. Almost sounds like a Wendigo. Crazy sounding though. There's flames.
We need to back down and purge out the machine.
This is not an entity you want to provoke. Not one you summon, not one you challenge. The indigo exists in stories to teach restraint, respect, and balance. If you're engaging in this topic spiritually, the safest path is grounding, protection, and intention. Learn, don't invite. Honor these cultures and the stories that they come from. I want to leave you with this question. What are you consuming? And what might be consuming you? If this episode resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you feel called to continue exploring the hidden, the haunted, and the symbolic, make sure you're subscribed. Okay, guys, stay grounded, stay curious, take care of your energy, and until next time, keep it creepy. Bye.
Big mass figure. It had horns. This is where my body gravitated.
Saw this chick literally go through the car as we drive through, like spiritually.
That man sitting on the bed the night before.
The blue light flashed in front of our eyes.
Take a walk with me to the dark side, where the spirits are archived on the far side. Shadows with dark eyes and creatures that tell lies.
And there was a rocking chair, and it would rock by itself.
It's got some funky shit going on in it.
Very scary. It felt like someone was watching us the entire time we were walking.
I hear this low pitch.